Hey guys, it's Zach with Aldeck, and today I'll be showing how to use and manage breakpoints in Riviera-PRO. Breakpoints are used to halt simulation when a condition or state is reached for signals, code, assertions, or covers. Breakpoints should be used to create breaks in simulation at specific windows and conditions of testing. They can be helpful to identify functionality of IP or new designs. Riviera-PRO has the capability to set breakpoints and manage them within their corresponding windows. If we want to use breakpoints, there are a few things that we want to do first. Before initializing simulation, we're going to want to allow the simulation to generate debug data in our preferences. If we go to Tools and Preferences, we can find the General section of simulation. This is where we'll be able to make sure we can use breakpoints while debugging and simulating our designs. We can also check Enable C Code Debug if we intend to set breakpoints in C source code. Click Apply and OK to confirm these changes. If we move into the debug perspective of Riviera-PRO, we can see the different breakpoint windows. We have HDL, C Code, Signal, Assertion, and Cover breakpoint windows. We'll look at HDL breakpoints first. HDL breakpoints can be set using the margin of the HDL editor or by using the BP argument in the console. If we double-click in the margin, it will create a breakpoint on the line indicated. We can also right-click to toggle a breakpoint or to enable or disable an existing breakpoint. As we create breakpoints, we can see them auto-populate in the HDL breakpoints window. If we move into the HDL breakpoints window, we can see the various columns providing information about the breakpoints. We have file, line, instances, hit counts, and expression. If we right-click on one of these breakpoints and go to Properties, we can take a look at the properties of the breakpoint that we can manipulate. The simulator is automatically set to break for all instantiations and all hits of the breakpoint. If we're looking at a breakpoint that belongs to an HDL design instantiated multiple times, we can select which instantiations we want the design to break for. If we only want to stop for a certain number of hits on a breakpoint, we can set that and for which instantiations we want to be included. If these two conditions don't meet your specific breakpoint criteria, we can also set an expression for the breakpoint using a regular expression. Then simulation will stop only when the expression condition is met and for the instantiations that you select, rather than every time that selection of code is reached. At the top of the HDL Code breakpoints window, you can see a few icons that will exist in each breakpoints window. In order, they will allow you to delete the selected breakpoint, delete all breakpoints, enable all breakpoints, disable all breakpoints, and save breakpoints to the macro. The Save to Macro feature of the breakpoints window will generate a macro to automatically set the breakpoints you have in the breakpoint window. From here, we can take a look at C and C++ breakpoints. C code breakpoints can be set exactly like HDL code breakpoints. They can be set for System C modules or applications connected to the simulator via standard interfaces like VHDL VHPI, Verilog PLI or VPI, or System Verilog DPI. In the C code breakpoint viewer, you can also see indication of the file name, line, function, and address that the breakpoint is set on. For signal, assertion, and cover breakpoints, we will want to initialize simulation before we can set these. However, once breakpoints are set, they don't need to be set every time simulation is initialized. First, we'll take a look at signal breakpoints, which can be added by dragging a signal from the Objects window to the Signal Breakpoints window. We can also right-click on the signal we wish to set a breakpoint on, and Set Signal Breakpoint will allow us to set a transaction, event, or value breakpoint on that signal. Signal breakpoints can be set on Verilog registers and nets or System C signals. Transaction breakpoints take place when a value is assigned to the signal, no matter the previous value, but can only be set on VHDL signals. Event breakpoints will stop simulation for any change in that signal's value, whereas value breakpoints will stop simulation only when that signal requires a specified value. In the signal breakpoint window, we can see our signal names, breakpoint condition, breakpoint value, and hit count conditions. If we right-click on the breakpoint, we can set properties for that breakpoint. Properties like condition can be changed, and if we wish, we can add a hit count condition too. Now we can take a look at assertion breakpoints. Assertion breakpoints can be set on System Verilog, PSL, and OVA assertions. We can go to the Assertions window to see the different assertions in the design. To set a breakpoint on an assertion, you can drag the assertion to the Assertion Breakpoints window, or right-click on an assertion and go to Set Assertion Breakpoint. You can set several different types of assertion breakpoints depending on the condition you would like the simulation to stop for. A note to add, if you drag the assertion to the Assertion Breakpoints window, it will automatically set breakpoints for all trigger conditions. You can also drag assertions from the Hierarchy window to the Assertion Breakpoints window to set assertion breakpoints. Once an assertion breakpoint is set, you can adjust its trigger by right-clicking on the breakpoint and going to Properties and adjusting the trigger. Cover breakpoints can be set very similarly to assertion breakpoints. In Covers window, you can see the different covers in the design. To set a breakpoint on a cover, you can drag the cover to the Cover Breakpoints window, or right-click on a cover and go to Set Cover Breakpoint. You can set several different types of cover breakpoints depending on the condition you would like to stop the simulation. Similarly to assertion breakpoints, dragging a cover from the Covers window will automatically set breakpoints for all trigger conditions. You can also drag covers from the Hierarchy window to the Cover Breakpoints window to set cover breakpoints. Once a cover breakpoint is set, you can adjust its trigger by right-clicking on the breakpoint and going to Properties and adjusting the trigger. When setting breakpoints, there is a case where you can set breakpoints that are unreachable. When a breakpoint is said to be unreachable, it is usually the case that you haven't set settings to generate debug data. There are other situations that a breakpoint is unreachable, such as setting a breakpoint while running a simulation or the simulator is already in post-simulation debug mode. So now that we've set these breakpoints, we can go ahead and run simulation to see how they will interact with the simulator. You can see as we hit run, the simulation will stop whenever a breakpoint is hit, and the console will output information indicating what breakpoint has been hit and what time it was hit at. When a breakpoint is hit, we can also go to the relevant breakpoint window, and it will be bolded to indicate which breakpoint simulation was halted for. So whenever a code, assertion, or covered breakpoint is hit, the HDL editor is open and the line is highlighted. That's pretty much it for this video on breakpoint management. Thanks for watching.